Hello. Thank you for joining me on today's podcast, Your Super Self with Tracey. Now, today, I want to talk to you about something a little bit different. I want to talk to you about sleep paralysis and my personal story with sleep paralysis. Firstly, have you suffered from sleep paralysis? Well, maybe you don't know you had something called sleep paralysis because you don't know what it is. So I'm just going to tell you firstly what sleep paralysis is. So it's basically when you go to bed at night, it could be, I don't know, you don't even have to be in bed, you could be asleep on the sofa for it to happen. It's when you fall asleep, basically. And what happens is all of a sudden you get this temporary inability to, your whole body basically goes paralyzed. And as far as you're aware, you are wide awake because you don't realize that you've gone to sleep. Okay. And as far as you're concerned, it's literally like, you think, oh my God, I've become paralyzed, but as far as you're concerned, you're still being very aware that you're able to be aware of the room, but you can't open your eyes, okay, either. Everything is shut. So when I've had sleep paralysis and how I like to explain it to people, do you remember the film in The Matrix, the very first one, where Keanu Reeves is in a room and they've got the two, what are they called? The ones that always shift around, in The Matrix. And they're there and they're interrogating him. And basically, they say to him, is it Smith? Something like that. Anyhow, move on. So, anyhow, they cover, it's like his whole mouth disappears. I don't know why I'm kind of like covering my mouth when I'm saying it, but it's like his whole mouth disappears, like the skin goes over, and he's like, that kind of thing. He can't physically speak. That is what happens to myself when I've had sleep paralysis. It's everything. Now, not only that, but you're thinking to yourself, there is something in the room with me as well. Now, sleep paralysis, you can hallucinate as well, and it can make you feel, some people suffer from other parts from it as well. So with myself, my sleep paralysis happens when I'm falling asleep and I feel it's like my bed, it's the weirdest thing, isn't it? The bed itself, I get this little shake on the bed, it's like it's being rocked slightly. And my bed, by the way, is the bed that you can't move unless I have to take it to pieces. I'd be absolutely stuffed, if I'm honest, if a spider went underneath it and through a little crack, because I would not be able to get it to it. It's one of those fixed type heavy beds. And so when you get sleep paralysis, so say it's like a gentle move, I feel like there's rocking and I'm like, oh, here we go. And then all of a sudden it starts with my feet and it goes straight away up to the top of my body. It happens very, very quickly, where the paralyzed sensation goes over myself. Now, I first had this at the age of 13. So at the age of 13, I'd had a really bad accident and I was hospitalised. I'd suffered from a broken leg, a broken hand. I had a broken skull. And I had to learn, because the fracture was at the top of my leg, right at the top, and they put pins in me, etc. And I had to learn to walk again, and I was in a wheelchair for about 6 months. And it happened as soon as I came back from hospital. Now, also as well, prior to this, not too long before, my mum had lost her mother, my nan. And she thought, because when I was had my accident, I had like bleeding from the ears and all that kind of thing. And they thought they were going to lose me. So they basically, my mum, prayed to her mother, and look after her. So this will all make sense. So I'm there, and I've got my first sleep paralysis, and it scared me so much. First, how it happened with me was, it didn't start with the shaking of the bed. That's not how it used to be. How it first started was had my eyes closed. I was in bed, and I felt all of a sudden that someone had entered my bedroom. That feeling of a presence in a room, and I thought, there's someone here, I can feel it, but I'm too scared to turn around. And then all of a sudden I went paralyzed. And when my mum came home from work, it was about lunchtime, I kind of screamed to her, like, and she came up the stairs, and what's wrong? And I explained. So anyway, she turned around, this is the thing with her mum, she turned around to me and said, well, that's my mum. I've asked her to look out for you. It's only your nan. Don't worry about it. Well, that scared me so much, because, you're 13 years old, and as far as I was concerned, I'm being visited by ghosts. And it absolutely petrified me. Now, unfortunately for me, sleep paralysis was something I then got on a regular basis. It got so severe that I'd wake up screaming. It's basically, the reason why I would wake up screaming is I was aware of my release. It was like all of a sudden you're released from whatever it is. And I would scream my head off. And it worried the whole family completely. And at the time I shared a bedroom with my sister. And so they installed one of those pool lights by the side of my bed, so that when I woke up in the night, literally, I could just pull the switch whilst I'm screaming, and the whole house comes running into my bedroom, and my sister's like, poor sister, that she had to go through all of that. And then it changed. I then had feelings of, when I had sleep paralysis, that I was being attacked. Strange, very strange. Of like, I'm being tossed around the room, or like fighting something. Some sort of demon thing, and it was very odd. And I honestly, I didn't know what was going on. So anyhow, I talked to my dad about it. Apparently he suffered from the same as well. So this is at a time where we did not have the internet at the touch of our fingers. All right, this is 33 years ago. We just didn't have, the knowledge that we have now. We take this for granted. If there's anything I'm ever unsure of or anything, I could just go type it in, bing, the answer is there. We don't realize how fortunate we are to be able to do that. When you don't know what's going on, that's a scary prospect. Like I said, I thought I was being visited. Okay, so, and the mind does really weird things. So the reason why I thought I'd talk about this as well, because I believe that our minds are super powerful tools. They really, really are. But not only that, I also had the other night, it wasn't like sleep paralysis, but it kind of was. It's changed a lot for me. And I only get sleep paralysis when I'm really quite stressed out. If I've let my body suffer from stress, that's when I seem to get sleep paralysis. I can get myself out of the whole paralyzed thing now. I'm able to do that. And when my daughter, she's experienced sleep paralysis as well, I've given her how to get out of it. And if you've suffered from sleep paralysis, what I find is I've become aware that it's happening. Okay. And before, my initial reaction was always to fight it. You kind of want to go, you want to be able to move, and you're fighting your body. As far as you're concerned, you're completely conscious as well. And, and I believe we are actually. Sleep paralysis is very weird, and I don't think it's looked into enough. So how I find I get out of it is I'm aware it's happening, and I relax my body. I just go completely like, okay, giving is just like, just literally completely relax out, and then I'm out of it. My daughter's done that as well, and that's helped her. So I've, if you suffer, try that. Try relaxing very hard when you're in the moment. But if you can think to yourself, I need to relax out of this rather than fight it, it frees the body up, because otherwise that is very scary. But the other night, this is why I'm talking about it really. As I was drifting, if you like, or asleep, it was like the sleep paralysis, but not where before what I've felt was I've been tossed around the bed. It's so strange, isn't it? I had this image in front of me, and I don't usually ever get this type of image. This is the first one. And it was a silhouette, a white silhouette, not a ghost, like a ghost silhouette. This was like, if you can imagine like a black and white negative, like the white of the negative was there, and it was weird. It was as though that there was this thing there. It was definitely female. If anything, I'm going to say it was me. All right. It was, I was like, well, that's me. And I don't know, this was like dreamy, obviously. But like I said, it was very much like a sleep paralysis situation. I really kind of felt the same sort of vibe, but without being so much like paralyzed. And I definitely had this, like, seeing this thing, like I say, it was like a white silhouette, but not I say not like a ghost because I haven't seen ghosts, but ghost you think is like a spirit. This was literally like an outline, but it was definitely female, and I can honestly say I think it was like me. So it got me thinking when I woke up in the morning. I'm one of those people that when I wake up in the morning, think about the night's events, because I have such vivid dreams. I have sleep paralysis. I have, my mind at night time must go crazy. So I think in the mornings about what's just happened. I just give it a couple of moments before I get on with my day. And I thought about it, and I was like, oh, that was a different one. That was something completely different to normal. And I thought, I haven't ever spoke about the sleep paralysis before on my podcast, because if you've listened to any of my previous podcasts, I am a massive believer that our minds are the most powerful tools, and we can do so much with our minds. We really can. So I just thought, I'm going to have a little chat, because other people might be experiencing the troubles and I like I say, I went through it for years and years of not knowing what it was. And I was so scared as well, really quite scared about what was happening to me. And not only that, but I thought, because of this whole feeling of a presence in the room as well, I really thought that at night time a ghost came along, paralyzed me, and it was odd. I mean, I remember this one particular moment where this was when I was 13, and I'm led there in bed, and as far as I'm concerned, I feel the presence in the room, completely paralyzed. And as far as I was concerned, okay, someone or something, when it was visiting, came and it picked up the quilt by my head and like looked at my face, because I don't know why. One of my things of how I sleep, I like my ear and my side of my face of the duvet to kind of cover up that side. I don't know, it's very comforting for me. So anyhow, I felt, to me, this is what happened, that the duvet was lifted as if to have a look at my face, and then it put back down, and I felt that sensation of it happening, which I gotta say scared the living crap out of me. It really did. So I did, all these like things that have happened, And can our mind do these things to us when we're super stressed? Yes, I believe so. I still believe there's something more to sleep paralysis. I just don't necessarily believe, that it's, the whole demon thing or anything. But I do suffer from it. It's one of my things that I carry. Like I say, my daughter actually gets it, and my dad has actually had it. So I think it's, for us, I'm gonna say, on our family, it seems to be genetic. So I thought I'd just have a chat, really, and let you know about my personal story, how scary it was for me. And at times, even if I get it on the odd occasion now, I think at the moment I've been a little bit, I've had something going on, and I have felt very sort of overwhelmed and very stressed. And that, I think, has brought on that. So yeah, I thought I'd just, like I say, just put it out there. So let me know. I'd really want to know, have you had this? I want to connect with other people that your mind can really do so much. Let me know. I want to hear from you. That would be fantastic. So anyhow, I hope you're all keeping super well, and take care from now, from me to you. Bye bye.